Welcome to When It Worked podcast Jeopardy. You're with your host Julian Leahy. I'm joined by Henry Harrigan in the soundproof booth. Our guests today are Katherine McCord from Titan Management USA and Bryan Clayton from greenpal.com. And I've just realised that I've got the overlay still on there. Let's ignore that for a moment and get rid of the intro. That's better. Welcome to the show, everyone. Where are you?
Thank you. Oh, fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. I'm not sure why we can't see you.
We're the mystery guests.
The mystery guest. All right, well, you're going to pop up at some point, I'm sure. All right. What we're going to do, let's get straight into it, and we will get the cameras sorted out. So, Bryan, we'll let you go first. You're in the first spot. Choose your category and the amount.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm a landscaper by trade, so let's go trees for 100.
Trees for 100. Sounds good. If you go round it, you'll see it's a tree, not a bush, as it's called in the nursery rhyme. So it's called a bush, but it's actually a tree, and it's in a nursery rhyme.
Mulberry.
Okay. Now, that is correct. So what we're going to do is...
Oh, yeah, sorry. What is a mulberry bush or mulberry tree?
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Right, perfect. Okay.
I forgot Jeopardy.
Wow, that was great.
Okay, now you have control, Katherine. So...
Oh, boy. And I can't really see them too well. I can't really see the categories. Can you tell me what they are?
Okay, we've got literature, lunch counter lingo, trees, sports nicknames, big animals, and teddy bears.
Oh, let's do big animals. That'll be fun.
Okay, for how much?
Oh, let's do for 200.
200 big animals. Even though the Hymantherium gabrielis has over 170 pairs of legs, it's still considered a variety of this.
I would think since they referenced legs, maybe what is insect or...
Okay, I'm going to have to lock that in as your answer. Do you want to lock that in as your answer?
Well, but I thought I said big animals. No?
Yes. In some way big, yes.
Well, maybe they're big for what it is. So yeah, sure, why not? What is it? What is insect?
Okay.
I'm just gonna go with that. That doesn't make any sense. Or what is?
Centipede is the answer.
Oh, centipede. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like it was a millipede or a centipede. Yeah. Okay.
Close. All right, now you're still choosing because you still have control because you had the last correct answer. So
okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. Just because I think it's hilarious, it's on their teddy bears for 100.
Teddy bears for 100. The song "The Teddy Bears Picnic" was part of this late Taxi Stars comedy routine.
Oh, I don't know.
Michael Richards. What is Michael Richards?
I was actually going to give you a hint there. Let's have a look at the answer. The answer is Andy Kaufman.
Good guess though.
Yeah, the problem is that Taxi's such an old show. I was going to say that Jim Carrey played him in a bio movie. That would have helped, wouldn't it? All right, Katherine.
Oh no, it's still me. All right, let's do trees again for 200.
Trees for 200. The Cartwright Ranch was named for these pines growing in the area. I'll put the timer on.
What is white pines?
Ponderosa.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I don't remember the name of it.
That's all right. You'll get one soon. Everyone will get one soon. Okay.
Oh no.
Catherine.
Mm-hmm. Oh Lord. All right. What were the lunch one? Let's do the
lunch counter lingo.
Lunch counter lingo for 100.
For 100. Okay. On the hoof is meat done this way. On the hoof.
Well done. What is well done?
Rare.
Oh, just the opposite.
Yeah, just the opposite. Close though.
Let's do the same one for 200.
200. Okay. Lunch counter lingo for 200. Your dessert if you get a pie and moo juice.
It's what is a la mode?
Apple pie and milk.
Oh.
These are probably
because it said milk juice. I like mood juice. I was thinking like sorry. Yeah, I know where they're going with that. Okay. I was thinking, nobody says that though. Are these specific to another country?
No, I've got to be honest with you. Half of these are from a show that aired in 1986.
Oh, well, there you go. All right, so what is? Let's do teddy bears again for I don't know, 300.
300. Okay. I actually have updated some of the really old questions, so there should be no problem. A very tall NBA star from the 70s and 80s who sued to stop a Jabbar teddy bear being marketed without his permission.
From the 70s and 80s?
Also starred in a movie from that time.
The only basketball.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Who is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, that's the only older player.
I'm on the board. No, not on the board yet.
Yeah, you're on the board. Well, you're negative 100.
I'm almost on the board.
And you're in control.
Trees for 500.
Trees for 500. The bark of the oak tree contains this acid used in turning animal hide into leather. What do you do to leather to make it into leather? You something it.
What is tanning acid?
Correct.
Oh.
Good job. Yay.
All right. The landscaper is coming back with these tree questions. Oh, actually, the other one wasn't a tree question. All right. Continuing on. Bryan, you're in control.
Okay. Literature for 100.
Literature for 100. In the second sequel, Mark Twain wrote about him as a detective. Are we in trees? No, we're in literature. In the second sequel, Mark Twain wrote about him as a detective. This is
the
something.
Sequel of what?
Well, what was his books? Don't you? I think you would have maybe read them in elementary school, or there was Huckleberry Finn.
A lot of books. So what?
All right, we're gonna. Nobody knows this one, so it's best.
Who is Sherlock Holmes?
I was just going to say, Bryan, if you don't know, it's better not to answer because you'll just go on to the next question. I'll give you the chance. Do you want to answer that?
Sure.
You do. Okay. You're brave.
Tom Sawyer. Oh, I should have known that.
That's so funny.
Okay, you're still in control, Bryan.
Literature for 200.
Literature for 200. Are you a bit of a bookworm?
No.
Okay.
Let's get these out of the way. While exploring, Daniel Boone and his companions sometimes read this Jonathan Swift classic to one another. All right, time's up.
Clue.
Let's just have a look at the answer. Gulliver's Travels.
Oh, I should have known that.
Turned into a movie with Jack Black, I should have said. Okay, you're still in control, Bryan.
Teddy bears for 500.
500. Antagonist of the 2010 Disney Pixar animated film Toy Story 2. Mm-hmm. Antagonist or baddie of the 2010 film
what
Toy
was his
Story
name?
3. And we're in teddy bears.
Oh, it's been so many years.
He's pink.
Oh no, I remember him. I just can't think of his name. Like
no clue.
Okay.
Yeah,
Lotso Hagenbear, also known as Lotso. All right, I changed that one to be a bit more modern. It was some 70s reference.
Sports nicknames for 100.
All right, let's have a look at the sports nicknames. Romanian tennis star known as Nasty.
Nope, not a clue. Neither of us. We're like, nope.
No clue.
Ili Nastase.
Huh.
Okay, still in control, Bryan.
Same category, 200.
200. Soccer's Black Pearl. Famous,
no
probably the most famous soccer player from Brazil. I'll give you a hint.
Who is Pele?
Oh, who got in there first? I think Bryan might have just snuck in. Would you agree with that, Katherine?
No, but I'll let you have it.
Oh, let's make it interesting. You take it.
I tell you what.
Katherine got it.
I don't care.
Okay, I'm gonna.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's equal. We both got it at the same time. It was.
I'll give you both points. 500.
Oh, God.
There we go.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, both scored on that one. Okay, now, all right, we'll give Katherine a go now.
We just decided to throw it out there. Let's do sports nicknames again for, I don't know, what it is. Where were we at now? 300?
300, okay.
Well. Yeah.
Foul nickname of former NHL hockey star Paul Gustad.
Oh. Probably something dumb because hockey players are not good at nicknames. So something like,
there's a
what
clue
is
there.
Goose or Goosey?
Goose is correct. Katherine is
hockey
on
players
fire.
are not good at nicknames.
Good guess.
All right, you're up, Katherine.
Not really. I'm married to a former hockey player, so
Nice.
I know they're not very good at nicknames. What is the large animal one for for 300?
Okay, big animals for 300. By weight, the biggest breed of dog.
Oh God. I'm gonna say, what is Tibetan Mastiff?
Saint Bernard.
Oh.
Do you remember that movie,
Oh.
that kids movie from
Beethoven.
Yeah, I was going to drop
Yep.
that reference in. I thought, no, but I couldn't remember what it was called. Okay, you still up, Katherine?
Same thing. Let's just go the next one up. 400.
400. UFC fighter known as the
Who is Conor
Notorious.
McGregor?
Bang! All over that one.
He got
Blimey.
that one in quick.
I didn't even get the question out.
I like it. I like the enthusiasm.
All right, Brian.
Let's go sports nicknames for 500, Julian.
500. The marvelous boxer who only ever lost one fight to the great Sugar Ray Leonard.
Who is Muhammad Ali?
Marvin Hagler.
Oh,
Yeah, I was saying, no, Muhammad Ali lost more than one.
oh man.
Okay, that was Brian. I'm going to take some points.
Brutal.
Off. Okay,
Not a bad
you're
guess.
still in control, Brian.
Let's do trees for 300.
Trees for 300. With a resin that increases blood pressure and reduces fever, the arbor vitae is called the tree of...
What is the tree of life?
Correct,
Wow,
Katherine.
Great question. Great question.
It just seemed right to me. I don't know.
You're up, Katherine.
All right. Let's go back to sports nicknames and let's just go for 500.
Unfortunately,
Let's do it.
sports nicknames are all over.
Are we? Okay, I can't see the screen very well. So,
Okay.
what are and then let's do the big animals then.
Okay, big
Do we have any of those
animals.
left?
We have got 100, 400, and 500.
Let's do 400.
400. Big animals, going big on the big animals. Biggest of these was a Poland china weighing 2,252 pounds.
What is a polar bear?
It's actually a pig.
Oh man.
Okay.
What was it?
It's pig.
Oh, a pig. Oh my God. Yeah.
So
Terrible.
we've got Brian on 800, Katherine on 200. Let me see if I can make this screen bigger so you can see it. All right, let's do this. Being as for some reason your cameras have disappeared.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
can't.
Is that better?
Yeah, I can't see it.
Can you see it
Yeah,
now?
that's better.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Now
All
we're
right.
cooking.
Now who's in control? I forgot. Katherine.
Is.
Katherine.
Oh, me. Oh, yeah. Let's do lunch counter lingo for 500. I don't know.
Lunch counter lingo. Components of a Sinker and Suds breakfast. I'll give you a clue. It's maybe a policeman, an unhealthy policeman might like this in the morning.
A bacon. What is bacon and beer?
Steak and eggs. What is steak and eggs?
Donut and coffee.
Oh my gosh.
Don't they say...
But suds. But wait. But that doesn't make any sense. Coffee doesn't make
Hey,
suds. That's beer.
Hey, it's your country, Katherine.
That sounds like an Australian thing to me.
No.
Yeah, that's not a thing. Nobody says that.
Oh, there's been a protest. All right.
There's a protest. This is a protest. All right. Let's do same one, but for what is it? 400. I can't.
Who answered that one? Who's was it?
I was incorrect on it. So
Okay.
you gotta
Okay.
dock me.
All right. So you're still winning. 300 versus 200, and Katherine, you're still in control.
Oh God. Let's do trees for 400.
Trees for 400. Most authorities feel this tree, Cocos nucifera, is native to tropical America, not the Pacific. It's a clue. It's commonly found in the Pacific. It's called Cocos nucifera.
What is a palm tree?
Oh, so close.
Great guess.
Coconut. Well, look, you know what? Is a coconut atop of a palm tree? Coconut palm?
It's a coconut palm.
It
Yeah.
is. All right, I'm going to let you have that one, Catherine.
Boom.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
I don't think Alex Trebek would have. You're still in control. Rest
Oh,
in peace.
thank you. So let's do animal, big animal. What is it? The animal one for 500. We still have that
500.
one.
Attaining lengths of over 180 feet, longest animal of all is a bootlace variety of this.
What is an anaconda?
That's a good guess.
I think I know what it is, but I don't want to get it wrong.
Worm.
It's a
Yeah.
worm.
180-foot worm.
Yeah. Ew.
Wow. Wow.
That'd be so crazy. I'd want to see
Imagine digging that up in the garden. All
That'd
right,
be so
Catherine,
cool.
you're up.
that. Let's do. Oh, the animals for 100. I think we
Animals
saw
for
that one.
100.
Yeah.
Largest living bird is the North African variety of this. The largest living bird. We've got a similar one in Australia, but it's slightly smaller.
It's a.
What is a falcon?
It's I don't want to get it wrong and get docked, but I'm going to anyway. What is an albatross?
Okay, well, you got saved by
Stretch.
Brian because he jumped in first. If you don't know, you
Don't
have,
say yes.
yeah, you have the
You're right,
option
don't
of
say.
jumping in. Did I do that right, or did I take too many off you? I think
No, I think you're good.
we're good. Okay, we'll leave it there. All right, who's up, Catherine?
Oh God. Let's do the lunch lingo thingy for 300.
300. Hopefully, a better question. After a meal, you might want to use this lumber.
This lumber? Is that what you said?
Yeah, lumber is something made out of wood.
Oh, what is a toothpick?
Correct,
Great.
Catherine.
Yeah.
Catherine's on
But then my
fire.
husband is coming to the
You're on
rescue.
fire.
He uses
You're on
them
fire,
constantly.
Oh, I thought you were saying you had an illegal person giving you clues there. That would have been
Oh no.
instant
No,
penalty.
I just mean
All
no,
right.
no. I just mean that I just
He
I think-
uses them.
What do we only have the other lunchroom one?
Okay,
left?
we've
Is that
got
all?
one. Yeah, one. There's 400 for lunchroom lunch counter lingo. Do you want that one?
Do we have any others left? I can't see the
400.
400.
400 is
That's it. Okay, then let's do that one.
okay. Looseners, named because of this fruit's supposed laxative effect, something that people in old people's homes often eat.
What is a prune?
Correct. Catherine is on fire. All right, now there's going to be a final Jeopardy round where you can double up your score. So there's still hope for Brian.
I got to get on the board. Come
Yeah,
on, let's go.
yeah, it's hard. Go, Catherine.
Oh wait, what am I doing?
Teddy bears is left or literature?
Oh God, let's do literature for 300.
300. Thomas Hardy's John Derbyfield found he and daughter Tess were related to this noble line.
No clue.
No clue.
Me either. The D'Urbervilles, have you heard of that?
Nope.
Nope.
Not a clue.
No, okay.
Makes me feel better that you didn't know either, Brian. I feel better now. Literature for 400.
Okay, let's go. This is painful, the literature one. He described his boyhood in Asheville, North Carolina, which he called Altamont in Look Homeward Angel. Has anyone heard of that book, first of all?
No.
Okay.
No.
We don't know that one. Thomas Wolfe.
Thomas Wolfe. I do know him.
Oh, you've heard of him?
No,
Okay.
yeah. No, I know, but yeah. I didn't know the book. Literature for 500.
Okay, I know this question. Oh, no, I didn't. This is a different one. This Irish poet founded the Irish National Theatre and in 1923 won the Nobel Prize for Literature. Commonly just referred to by his surname, which rhymes with... what do you have on your shoes when you play baseball? Do you have cleats? Rhymes with that. Oh, time's up, I'm afraid. It's ooh. You would
Yeah.
Yeats.
you,
Who is
ne-
Yeats?
you nearly got that one.
yeah, it was Yeats.
Okay, teddy bears, 200 or 400 are left.
Let's do 400. Let's just
Let's go for it. Okay. Movie where Mark Wahlberg plays
Ted. What is Ted?
Wow.
read it. Oh, you cheat. Yes, Brian.
Well done.
Yeah,
Okay.
Back in the black.
All right, you're back in the black here.
I can participate.
If you get this one, you've got a chance. All right, Teddy Bears for 200 is the very last one.
Let's do it.
The Bears Rupert and Paddington originated in this country.
What is England? United Kingdom.
England is correct.
Yeah.
All right.
Brian, 300. Hey, that's not too bad. You came
Teddy
from...
Bears was my category.
Yeah, who knew? Who knew? All right, so we got 300 versus 1,300. It's time for Final Jeopardy. Now, what you do is, when you see the question and category, you decide how much you want to wager, and then you just send me your answer plus wager amount in the chat, the Google Meet chat. And while we're doing that, I've got to try and find this Google Meet window.
Oh, God, it's literature. It had to be our worst one, Brian.
Yeah.
Okay. This dystopian novel, written by George Orwell and published in 1949, depicts a totalitarian society controlled by a regime that manipulates truth and suppresses freedom. What is the title of this influential work? I'll give you a clue. It's just a year is the name of it.
Oh, no, I've heard of it, but I don't. Okay. And we're supposed to message you the... I can't figure...
I'm going to give you another clue. Oh, too late. The answer came up. Did anyone get that?
Yeah, I texted it to you.
Oh, I'm going to have a look here.
You texted it to everybody, actually?
Let's have a look. What did Brian have?
Since
Oh, 300. Brian comes home with 600 points at the last.
Yeah, he can have it, because, I did not know anyway. I could not remember.
Well done, Brian. That was a great effort. All right, now, Brian, as you finished off Final Jeopardy strong, tell us about how you went from landscaping to developing software.
Yeah, well, I'm a little ashamed of myself. I should have ran the whole trees category, but I don't think I got one of them right. But yeah, I used to. My first business was a landscaping business. Started mowing grass in high school. My dad made me go cut the neighbor's yard one day because he got tired of watching me play Nintendo. And luckily he did that, because I just stuck with that little lawn mowing business and grew it into a good sized company, and sold it. And after I sold it, I took some time off and got bored. And I thought, well, somebody should build an app that works like Uber, but for lawn care. And so I decided to build that app and called it Green Pal. And now Green Pal is a 10-year overnight success. My two co-founders have been at this business for over a decade. And now we're nationwide in the United States. So anywhere in the United States needs a lawn mowing service, you can order it through Green Pal.
I love it when people are in an industry and they see how something could be fixed, and that's the motivation for developing. Because a lot of people just say, like, let's come up with an app, and then they don't have that problem to start with. And it's always those ones that really solve a problem that are successful. That's excellent. So you've got co-founders, but you've pretty much bootstrapped this thing in the beginning. Tell us a bit, how did that happen, and then what sort of challenges did you face doing that?
Yeah, we self-funded the business just off of its own revenues, which in the early days was really hard because there weren't hardly any customers. So it was really challenging, but we just kind of stayed lean and mean and snowballed our way to where we are now. One reason why we chose to bootstrap the business was we're from Nashville, Tennessee, and so there's not like a whole lot of venture capital sloshing around here, like you might see on the West Coast or in New York or something like that. So that it was kind of out of necessity, which is great because it always kept us very clear-minded on what we needed to work on. Like, we have 100 customers, we need to keep them happy, and so let's build the things they're asking for. And so it really was a very it was hard, but it made it easy in a weird way. And so now we have over 300,000 customers, and we ended our first year with 20. And so from 20 to 300,000,
that's incredible
every year.
How did you get that first 100? Was that just grinding, just telling everybody? Did you call people up? What did you do?
Very much hand-to-hand combat. Yeah, it was passing out flyers. Really, we spent 9 months building the app, and then when we released it, it was, if you build it, they will not come.
Yeah,
and it was crickets, and so we had to hustle up our first 500 customers, and we passed out like 100,000 door hangers all over Nashville, Tennessee, hustling up our first couple hundred customers. And then we slowly began to build out a strategy for search engine optimization, and things like that to attract people to the platform. But the first
All the
1,000
marketing.
people, the first 1,000 people that use it was very manual.
Yeah, that's tough going, but that's great. And tell us, how did you get this software built in the beginning? Did you use in-house people? Did you outsource it? I mean, because there's people out there that are thinking of building apps. What can you teach us about that? What should we do and shouldn't we do?
It's a great question. So we made a big mistake. The first thing we did was my two co-founders and I didn't know how to code. We had never built software. We had never built a website or anything like that. So the first thing we did was we pulled our money together and we contracted a development shop, a development agency to build what we thought the app should be. And they took 8 or 9 months and we launched that, and that was a total failure. It just didn't have the features it needed. It was hard to use.
Expensive to build.
Yeah. Cost all of our money, like $200,000. And
were they US based?
Yeah. Local. And we learned a hard lesson that if you're going to be in the tech business, you got to learn how to build software. You have to learn how to build tech. And
a little at least.
Yeah, enough to be dangerous. It's kind of like trying to open a 5-star restaurant with no chef. It's like, and you're going to outsource the cooking, and that was a big mistake we made. So we had to teach ourselves how to build software. That took another couple of years.
Oh my
at
God.
least we were then in control of our destiny.
So you know how to code. Now, what do you code in?
Yeah, I'm the world's worst front-end engineer. So just basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and a little bit of Ruby on Rails. And my co-founder learned server-side. He focused solely on Ruby on Rails. And between the two of us, we were able to, over a year and a half, 2 years, rebuild the app and the platform from scratch. And just enough to kind of get to 1,000 customers. And then once we got a little bit of revenue coming in, we then built out a dev team around kind of the sloppy code we were writing and ended up rewriting everything we ever wrote. But we wouldn't have known how to delegate these things had we not learned the 80-20 of development.
Incredible. And are they like employees now, or
yeah,
they're okay. Probably.
Yeah, we have a team of over 40 people now, and just hired one person at a time based on what our needs were at that stage of the game. So in the early days, it very much was developer hours. We needed the right code. We needed to build our way out of our problems. And so I learned how to code front end stuff. My co-founder learned how to code back end stuff. My third co-founder just couldn't pick it up. He just was not wired to learn how to write software. And so he did. Yeah, well, really me too, because I suck at it. But so he did everything else, all the customer support, all the content creation, all the PR, and we determined that you could drive for Uber and make $30 an hour, and that was like an hour of dev time in Pakistan. And so we were swapping out hours that way, and that's what got us to like maybe first base or through the first level of the game.
Fantastic. Now with these types of apps, they only work if it's a really great experience for the customer. So is that something that you have, well, obviously it's something that you have identified, and how early on did you realize that this just needs to be a great experience for the user?
It was painfully obvious our first year, because it's like you don't think you're competing with Amazon, but you are. You may not be competing with Uber, but you are, because these companies have indoctrinated the consumer to like push a button and magic happen. And so that is the expectation. And so even though, you're, in my world, I'm working in the humble space of lawn care. I'm competing with Amazon, because Amazon has taught consumers that you push a button and order a pack of toothpicks, it'll show up in 2 hours. And so we kind of have to do that for lawn mowing. And so it took us 3 years to nail that experience of push a button, magic happens. And that's why we stayed just in Nashville, Tennessee for 3 long, very hard years, improving the platform on a very small stage until we could then expand it into other cities. And so that was one thing that we kind of intuitively did right. and it was really hard because you wanted to go big, you wanted to build something big, and we weren't ready yet. And a lot of Uber for X companies, whether it be Uber for home cleaning, Uber for laundry service, or whatever, kind of crashed and burned because they did try to scale it before they had the experience dialed in.
And I would imagine one of the hardest puzzles would be the relationship with the individual contractors. Like, how did you, first of all, reach out to them, and then how did you make them turn up quickly, do a great job? You know, how did you control those? And how do they, what's the relationship you have with these contractors? Is it like a franchise, or they just sign up like an independent contractor like Uber?
Yeah, it's more like Uber. It's a what they call a managed marketplace, and so they sign up and create their listing, much like you would on Uber, or even creating a Yelp profile to get new business. It's for them a place to list their services and enable consumers to order from them off the shelf, so to speak. And so that's how we approach it. And in the early days, it was very much hand-to-hand combat. The first 500 service providers all had my mobile number. And I would speak with them 7 days a week, and they would tell me everywhere the platform needed improvement, and it was just free R&D, and that's how we built a platform that they love to use. And what we learned in the early days was, if you don't have a platform that contractors love and want to use, then you don't have a product for consumers. And so we kind of started from there. We started with solving their problems. Making a livelihood in the lawn mowing business is really tough. You're always struggling to get paid for the work you did, because the lawn guy is the last person in the stack of household bills to get paid. And so that was where we started. Let's get them paid quickly, 24 hours. And that was enough of a value proposition to attract vendors to the service. And now we have a waiting list in most every city for vendors wanting to be on the platform. And so we started there, building something that they would love to use, and then teeing them up so consumers can order them just from their smartphone.
And do they get the benefit of instant leads, basically?
Right. So for them, it's as much work as they want to do, and then all organized in one place, a CRM, and then their route going from stop to stop is organized, and then getting paid within 24 hours is one of the big pieces. And then the marketing automation for them to get rebooked. We handle that for them as well, and add-on services like shrubs and leaves and seeding and mulch and things like that. We
gutters. What about gutter cleaning? Do you do
that too, and snow plowing? So everything you need for the exterior of the home, GreenPal handles and facilitates for you as the consumer. But then also, these are typically higher margin service items for the vendor, and we help put more money in their pocket. That's really who we solve for first. How do we make these hardworking professionals' livelihoods better? How do we make them more money with less hassle? And if we can do that, then the customer experience, the consumer experience, takes care of itself.
Excellent. And do you see any types of, what do you see in other manual industries, like the role of technology? Do you see any opportunities where this could happen in other industries?
It's a good question. So we have decided to stay focused on this one vertical because, every one of these home services platforms or just service businesses has a million problems, and they're all unique to their industry. So it's our belief that if you're going to tackle one of these, you have to focus on just pool cleaning or home cleaning or home painting or something like that. So I think that you'll see more of these marketplaces get built and get traction for specific use cases. But there won't be an Uber for everything. Like, there won't be an Uber for home painting, because you don't need a home painter but maybe once or twice in your lifetime.
Of course.
But it's those recurring things, maybe like pool cleaning might be one of them, home cleaning, where there should be an end-to-end experience where you should be able to order a home cleaning service that wants to come out and do a great job in the same way that you order groceries on Instacart or Chinese food from DoorDash. We believe that will happen.
Is anyone doing it for pet grooming?
There are some platforms in the pet space, like Rover and Wag. Rover is a publicly traded company now, and they facilitate dog walking, dog care, and I think they also do pet grooming. And so, I think a lot. I think they're dominating that vertical. And so that's an example of they have focused on one thing, pet care, and just made a whole business out of it.
Awesome. All right, now let's jump over to Katherine. Tell me what you did for the United Nations, Katherine.
Oh no, I didn't work for the United Nations.
You spoke.
I spoke to them. Yeah, let's be real clear. No, I did not work for the United Nations. I did, however, have the honor of being asked to speak for them about neurodiversity and sustainability and what that looks like, and building out true inclusion and value from a community that is often overlooked. And it was a really cool opportunity. A lot of fun, and a lot of very interesting conversation and engagement happened.
Yeah, that sounds great. I would have been very nervous. And you do a lot
Me
in
too.
human resources. Is that right?
I do, yeah. And actually, I wasn't nervous. It was terrific, and everybody was so lovely and so welcoming. And it was very much like this, very much a conversation. And so it was actually very relaxing, believe it or not, of an experience. It was not very stressful at all. So I work nationally, and actually now also internationally, helping companies to get off the ground with their HR and their recruiting. And I have a very nonlinear and sort of innovative approach. And that's just kind of what I bring to the table, and helping companies really understand what they need, because there's kind of this one size fits all approach to HR out there, and that doesn't actually work. Every company is unique. Every need is unique. And so you have to come in and come at it from a very personal angle to that company. And so I help them build everything from the ground up, or reinvent what they're already doing. And then I also come in and help them with what true inclusion should be, which is just simply creating psychological safety and letting everybody work in a way that's natural and effective to them, so that they can be the most productive employees that they possibly can be.
It's something that a lot of employees are wanting. And tell us a bit about, what are the problems that, the old way of doing HR that people are doing? What are they doing that is not great, and what is the room for innovation that you're talking about?
Absolutely. So HR originally just kind of started off as a way almost more to protect the company from the humans than the other way around, right? And then it started to slowly pivot, right? And actually, the pivot started quickly, but it just happened very slowly, where, oh, we should actually care about the humans too, and so it developed. And HR tech actually was very first really brought to the scene in the 90s, in terms of like applicant tracking systems and things like that, which is a CRM for human resources to track applicants. Those came about in the 90s as answers to things like monster.com and Career Builder, the big job boards. And that technology has remained stagnant. There are all these companies out there claiming to innovate it, and I go in and look, and it's all the exact same thing that's been there the whole time. It just looks prettier, right? Or maybe now you have the ability to customize emails, as opposed to just, having to pick up and call the candidates. So there's little additions, but it's not really changing and innovating with the needs for humans. And with HR, even though they're trying to take better care of people, they're not changing the core foundation. And without doing that, you cannot truly serve as human beings. You can't take something that was built to only take care of the company and get it to take care of the humans as well. It's just not going to work. You have to gut it and completely restart. And so what I tell people to do when I come into these organizations and I talk to them, I say, number one, we're going to go into this, and you're going to immediately want to tell us, no, but this works because, or, oh, this is okay because. But we're not here for ego. We're here for curiosity and to grow and for innovation. So the very first thing that I work with companies on is to work with their humans on responding in curiosity, not ego. And it's okay to respond. It's natural to respond in ego. We have an ego mechanism that's designed because our brain needs to be correct. And so it needs to be there for a while as we're growing and developing. But as we get older, it ceases to be useful, and it actually becomes detrimental. So we start learning to respond in curiosity and to grow. And that also sets the foundation for psychological safety and inclusion. So we start there, and then you start innovating HR tech and making that look the way that it needs to, and and I actually invented an HR tech without technical experience. You have two people on today's show that had no technical experience and then designed a technology. My tech was featured at Web Summit twice and HRDS twice as well. And that's really exciting. So you innovate that, and then you just design from the ground up everything around the ideas of focusing on the humans and helping them. So it's really just a matter of, and then get creative. There's all these boring ways out there to to recruit and all this, like, oh, I posted a job ad, yay for me. It doesn't really work. And the way that job descriptions are out there don't work. So when you're starting to innovate your HR, I tell people start with responding and curiosity, not ego. Then start everything from the ground up of building for everybody. And that means talking to everybody, right? Much like Bryan discussed, talk to everybody, get that free feedback going, get those good conversations going, include everybody. You can't include people if you don't include them. Like I talk to so many companies. They're like, yeah, we're building inclusion. Great. How many people are you talking to? This committee, there's 3 people in the committee and there's 1,000 people in your company. There's a problem here, So include the humans and design for them. Bryan's over there laughing at me. Include them in the process. You can't build, very much again to Bryan's point, you cannot build anything without including the humans that are going to be involved in it. So that's the main place to shake up HR.
I imagine there would be a lot of like CEOs that would not. They would give you that resistance that you talked about. What's in it for them really? I mean, it's what are the benefits for them? I mean, I can see that it's better for the employees.
Oh, so that's a terrific question. Actually, I have a shining example of this. It's so big that everybody can look it up and everybody knows it. So Hewlett Packard was founded by neurodiverse individuals, which is very typical of most companies. Almost every entrepreneur out there is
just let us know. I mean, I vaguely know what you mean, but to let us know what you mean by neurodiverse.
So neurodiverse simply refers to a visible and or medically diagnosable difference in how the brain processes information and stimuli. So think ADHD, dyslexia, dyspraxia, autism, so on and so forth, even all the way over to obsessive compulsive disorder, bipolar, things like this. So anything, even traumatic brain injury, will change how your body processes information and your mind processes information and stimuli. So that's neurodiverse. So it was founded by Hewlett Packard was founded by neurodiverse individuals, and they sort of realized a while back that they'd gotten away from the original way that they wanted to manage and care for their people. So they decided to create a neurodiverse cultivation program, not just hiring, not just inclusion, but cultivation. And they just sort of looked at this team and they said, all right, everybody, whatever you need to work effectively and comfortably, that's what you get to do. And so they had people that created what I like to call symbiotic work cells, where people would come together and work cohesively to form, a successful work project. They started having people that would walk as they work. They had people that sat on yoga balls, people that used fidgets, people that used noise canceling headphones, that sat in different types of lighting. Some worked from home, some worked in the office, some worked hybrid. People that didn't want to be touched were never touched. It was these types of things, basically anything to help them work naturally. And what happened was that team became 33% more productive than all of its counterparts.
Wow.
And on top of that, they became happier. They had less absences. They also became healthier. And then their innovation and creativity increased. And then guess what? Their profits increased. Who knew? And there actually is a beautiful study out there by Boston Consulting Group that shows that when you allow people to work in ways that are naturally healthy to them, and that are letting their brains function in ways that are naturally productive and that increases their own productivity, that eventually your profits will go up an average of 19%. So what do companies they get more money, they get higher productivity and efficiency, they get better innovation, more creativity, and happier and healthier employees. What's better than that?
More retention, less turnover.
Yes. And it's easier to hire.
Yeah, absolutely. So big tech companies like Google and Facebook sort of do this type of thing, don't they? Where they let people work in ways that are comfortable to them. Mm-hmm. I would imagine, though, that it's just going to be not possible for a lot of companies. Do you have to be at a certain level to be able to structure it this way?
No. I do a lot of work with in fact, my favorite clients are my little baby startups and growth stage companies. And they're wonderful. In fact, one of my favorite clients, Synchro, they have, I think now they're at about 300 people, give or take. And they very much function this way, completely inclusive. I have another client who is a printing company, and they're at about 30 to 40, and they're this way. So no, you absolutely don't need to be big to be this way. You just let people work in a way that's natural for them, and you build all of your procedures around the idea of flexibility.
Interesting. And definitely an area that is going to be growing. And I think like a lot of employees that I speak to, are very much thinking like, how does this job fit my life rather than how do I fit into this job? So I think it's going to be something that is going to be growing despite the reticence of CEOs, probably. Many of them.
They'll have to catch up eventually, but you're absolutely right.
All right, and who do you service? Do you do US all around or local?
Oh, no, anywhere in the US. And like I said, I've actually started to have clients outside of the US as well. So I'm starting to service other countries as well.
And if they go to Titan Management USA, do you have any type of kind of entry touch point, like a course or something, or do they just book a call with you?
They can book a call with me. They have classes that are available on there. I can come in and just teach. I can come in and do the whole shebang, whatever it is that you need. So they can absolutely just book a call with me. I'm also always on LinkedIn, and I'm one of like 3 Katherine McCords with my spelling in the US, so I'm super easy to find.
Easy to find on LinkedIn.
Yeah, so easy to find on LinkedIn to connect with me, and I'm always there to communicate with you.
Awesome. And Bryan, with your business, I wanted to just clarify. I know you've got many states now. Are there any sort of main areas that you work in, or
anywhere in the United States? If you live in a town with over 20,000 people, you can order a lawn mowing service on GreenPal, just like you would order food from Instacart or DoorDash.
Wow,
I will be checking that out after this show.
Yeah, awesome.
Sounds good.
Let me know how it goes.
And do we need to get an app on the phone, or just like Uber sort of thing?
Either or. You can go to the website, greenpal.com, or just download the app in the store.
Awesome. And same if there's any contractors out there that want to get onto something that sounds pretty cool, check out GreenPal, Bryan Clayton.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. That was fantastic. I get such amazing people on here sometimes. And
thank you for having me on, Katherine. You beat the pants off me in Jeopardy, so that was a lot of fun.
It was a group effort. It was a group effort of trying to just get through that very difficult Jeopardy round. Thank you for your support, Bryan.
That was
painful. you took your medicine very well, Bryan.
I'm gonna go read some Mark Twain now.
Yeah, get all the novels out.
Right.
Wonderful. Well, thanks very much, everyone, for watching and listening. And I'm going to wrap things up, and I'll see you very soon on another episode.